Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, and with that, we are back in the lobby bar for the week of September the 1st, 2025. Brian and Michaela here with you. And Michaela, not only is today the start of a new month, it is also Labor Day here in the United States, at least. So happy Labor Day to everyone out there. Hopefully you're enjoying something good. I think it's a good weekend for like cookouts. Like college football started this weekend. So it's been a pretty exciting time. You and I spent the bulk of the weekend kind of leading into the weekend in Chicago. It was my second time to Chicago, just actually like in the last month, but it was the first time that you've ever been. Well, outside of O'Hare Airport. So, how did you
It's
find
true.
the city proper of Chicago?
Chicago is amazing. If you've never been, people, I think everybody should go. It's got a lot of things that a good city has. It has a river. It's got great architecture. It has an ice cream museum where they have unlimited ice cream. That is amazing. There's a lot of places to go and have really fun cocktails. I don't know. It was neat. A couple of things that we did. We saw dinosaurs. We saw
We
the
did.
biggest Tyrannosaurus Rex called Sue, affectionately named Sue. You can look her up at the field. That was really neat. Yeah, I don't know. It was a fun-filled weekend. We did a lot of things. We saw Oasis. I mean, we buried the lead there. We did.
We
The
did.
whole
Yes.
point of going was so that we could introduce my son and my his dad could revisit Oasis, who came back together and are still together as of this recording, which is pretty good. It's been a solid like 2 months that they've been touring. Let's hope they keep it together. Noel
That's
and
right.
Liam, I'm rooting for you.
Rooting for you guys. Yeah, we went to Chicago to see Oasis, and yeah, we had a lot of good cocktails, and we'll probably recap those when we do our hangout for the month. Kind of go through
Mm.
some of the places we went. I got to take Michaela to a couple of places that we'd been a few times. So yeah, we'll get into that over on Patreon, patreon.com/drink the movies. But what we need, Michaela, is we need a good cocktail for Labor Day here because we have the day off, so that's nice. And I was going to make up a quick Paloma for everyone. And I think we've done this before, but had a couple of variants on this in Chicago. It's a really simple one to put together, especially if you're going to be having a cookout or people over, or you're doing like your football draft party or anything like that. Let's make up a quick Paloma, and then you wanted to revisit a cocktail that we had talked about way back when Andor was on. So let's make
Mm.
up the Paloma, and then I'm going to turn it over to you. So go ahead into a glass with some ice, throw 2 ounces of silver tequila, a half ounce of lime juice, and some grapefruit soda. Done, easy peasy. Yarritos is the classic one. I think you can probably get that in your like the international aisle, where they have the other like Hispanic foods. You can get that there at any major grocery store for sure. You could also use like Fresca or I think like Squirt is grapefruit flavored, so you can use either of those. You can garnish it with a lime wedge, and you can salt the rim if you want. Michaela, you want salt on yours?
Ooh, I do not. Do I? A little bit light salt. I want salt in half of it. How about that? It
Set it
gets
next
if
to a
it's
salt shaker for
yeah.
Michaela.
No, you only do half the rim. And that way if you want a little bit of salt, you can do that, but it's not so overpowering. I find that salt is amazing with tequila if it's super tequila forward, but I don't love a bunch of salt when it's got a lot of fruit content as well. So if it's like a mango margarita or grapefruit or like one of the like a strawberry one, it kind of
Mm.
gets in the way of the sweet. Some people really love that sweet salty, and I like it just a little bit. I think the salt can be too much for me. I don't know. I'm very sensitive to it in my palate. So half
Okay.
and half for me. But this is amazing. And now that you have the grapefruit soda that you can find like anywhere, that's pretty easy to find. This is like the best quick fancy cocktail because it's fairly fancy. It's a pretty color. You can
hmm
garnish it up and make it look real fancy if you want to. Like this is great.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a big fan of having just salt on my grapefruit. So salt for me all the way, absolutely. When we got back from Chicago, your first stop was, of course, to the liquor store to make sure you were stocked up adequately before the week for the holiday hit, right? And you picked up a new bottle of something. It's something we've talked about a little bit here on the podcast, not too much, but it is Italicus. It's a bergamot liqueur. It is a delicious Very fragrant, very delicate liqueur. It's made from bergamots, and it comes in the most beautiful bottle of any liquor, maybe in the whole world. It is absolutely gorgeous. But you were able to mix up a cocktail that I did way back in Andor coverage called "We Are the Gore." You can scroll way back in the Instagram if you want to see that, or maybe I'll throw it up on the stories here so you can revisit it. But you did a little riff on it from lack of olives, but yours sounds pretty good. Why don't you tell everyone about that?
All right. So I'm going to call it We Are the Orange Gore. I don't, that's
Okay.
not really has anything to do with Andor at all. But I will say I was late to the party with the bergamot liqueur. So I was very excited to be able to finally get the bottle that I had ordered because it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. But this is equally as easy, I think, as the Paloma, right? What we try to do at the lobby bar is do something that's very simple. And this is super simple, but it's also incredibly inspired. So thanks, Brian, for that. It is equal parts gin, bergamot liqueur, and dry vermouth. Okay, so that's what We Are the Gore is. You can add it to some olives if you're going to be go classic and do it how Brian did it. I had some olives; they did not look right, and then I found like 16 other jars in my pantry. But before I did that, I found some oranges. So I thought to myself, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and keep the equal parts bergamot, gin, and dry vermouth, but instead, I'm of any sort of olive business, I'm going to do 2 shakes of Angostura orange bitters, or you can use an orange peel. And I did both because I wanted it to be extra orangey. You just line the rim the glass with the orange oil that you get from kind of twisting the peel and then dropping that in there. It gave it a really different flavor profile than the olives would have.
Mhm.
It's obviously more fruity. It's a little sweeter. The bitters is really neat because it just adds a little bit of I don't know, effervescence in the like in the aromatics piece of it as you're sipping it in. But this was delicious, and I really recommend it. It looks beautiful. It looks very fancy. It tastes like something that you would get at a mixology, speakeasy that really knows what they're doing. I felt very fancy. I felt very adult and mature in my mixology. It was lovely. So thanks, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. I might have to give it a try there with the orange, but I do love the addition of the olives there, that little briny pop. So let us know if you are team orange or if you're team olive out there on our social medias. Let's talk about some movies here real quick. Not too much to go through here. It was the holiday weekend, but still not a huge box office. There weren't any huge releases that came out, so we had a couple of new ones that struck the top five. But actually, a blast from the past, 50th anniversary for Jaws was probably the notable takeaway here for the weekend. So let's go through the top five here. Weapons takes the win again, $12.4 million, but then followed up by Jaws, $9.8 million, almost $10 million for a film on its 50th anniversary, which makes sense because Jaws was the original summer blockbuster, right? That's where we get the term from, was the film Jaws there. So another $10 million for the Steven Spielberg shark classic. Caught Stealing, the new release, comes in at just under that at $9.5 million. Freakier Friday and new release, The Roses, rounds us out there with $8 million. So I think pretty respectable there for Caught Stealing and The Roses. I don't think they were, expected to go anything crazy, but $10 million for Jaws, that's a good job, Jaws. We do have a couple of things coming out this week. Here, we're going to have new Conjuring film, the last Conjuring film, possibly. It's all dependent on how many people go and see it. If we're going to get more Conjuring stories, absolutely. But Conjuring: The Last Rites is coming out to a movie theater near you. Michaela, we've talked about The Conjuring several times here on the Lobby Bar, also over on Patreon, just in our movie hangouts. But what do you think? What do you think about Conjuring as a whole, briefly? And then, are you looking forward to The Last Rites sending off this dynamic married ghost hunting
Yes.
duo?
So I'm here for The Conjuring. I like the first one. I think the other ones are subsequently worse. Not as good as the first Conjuring, but the first Conjuring, it scared me so much. I have to watch this one. I mean, it's kind of a thing now. It would be rude not to. Um, and this one, I will say, there are parts of it that look terrifying. I don't know. There's like a basement full of blood.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing good can
Mm-hmm.
come out of that. I wouldn't walk into a basement full of blood. I don't care how much I'm
Same.
into Jesus. You know what I mean? Like she they say Elizabeth Warren is the woman and she's walking through and she says the Lord will protect her. I
It's
don't know. I
Lorraine
think the
Warren.
Lord would grant me
Elizabeth Warren is the senator.
isn't it? What's her name? Diane? What's her name?
Lorraine.
Lorraine. Oh my God. It's early. I'm sorry. So Lorraine Warren. I think God would have granted Lorraine Warren some smarts to be like, if I see blood in the floor of a basement, I probably shouldn't go down in it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
who knows? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It does look scary, and I mean, they've done like 87 of these, so maybe this is the last one. I don't know. They when you put the word "last" in a show, sometimes it
Means
does it
nothing
to throw
in the
them
world of
off.
horror.
Well, people think
Guarantee
it's
it.
the
It might
last
be.
one, so they all go see it, and then they're like, "What?
Yeah, that's true.
Just the
Uh,
beginning of a new era
I am
of last."
skeptical of basements myself, but I'm not skeptical about Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. That'll be great, and I think they're probably ready for it to be the last Conjuring, truth be told. So we'll see. We'll see how that does here this week. I have a suspicion it's going to do pretty well. We have another, I guess, thing coming back to the theaters. Not really coming back to the theaters, but Hamilton's 10th anniversary is going to be showing in the theaters. This is, as far as I know, it's just the video that you could watch on Disney Plus that came out, I
Mm.
think, in the year 2020. So it's the 5 year anniversary of that, but it is celebrating 10 years of Hamilton, which is bonkers that Hamilton is already 10 years old. But I am skeptical of basements, as I just mentioned. I'm also skeptical of going to see Hamilton at the movie theater because it's not that I wouldn't want to see Hamilton on the big screen. I feel like people are going to be singing along to it a lot, and that's something that I don't know that I'm that into. But what about Hamilton? Michaela, are you going to try to make it out to see this here at its limited showings, or?
I think that this was a really beautiful thing that Disney did for Hamilton for its fifth year anniversary was to put the rendering of it as a stage production out in a movie format. I think that that is really special because there's a lot of people who don't live near a theater that's going to show something like this that wouldn't be able to afford to see it. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but for like years, no one had seen
Mm-hmm.
Hamilton. It was like The English Patient for 2015. Like everyone had raved about it, no one could see it because it was so hard to get tickets and get into. And I think that's awesome. But I also think that it's really great that you make it accessible to people who might not have the means or ability to be able to go see it. I wish they would do that more with certain plays.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that it is so cool. I saw it once when they did it for Rent, for its 10 or 15 year anniversary. And that was super cool. Now this was staged differently because it actually had multiple cameras. You weren't just looking at the stage, you were looking at different shots, which I thought was
Mm-hmm.
really amazing. So I'm really a big fan of this. I wish they would do it more because some people are willing to pay, maybe not $150 a ticket, but they're willing to pay something to go see it or be able to stream it on a Netflix or a Disney Plus or whatever. I think that is super cool. But am I going to be able to? I don't know about going back, though. There's definitely going to be people that there's going to be screaming next to me.
Yeah, people will be singing it for sure. Yeah, it is something that they've been doing a little bit more. You mentioned the Rent one. They did, I believe it's on Apple TV, but they did a recording of Come From Away, which is an incredible Broadway musical that I never would have heard of or probably seen had I not seen that. And then I was able to go see it when it went on tour. But yeah, I wish they would do that a little bit more, especially once like the original like cast like starts to go away to
Yeah.
to record one of those last ones, which is what they did with Hamilton there. So you can go check that out if you want. Let us know what your favorite jam from Hamilton is. You can also watch the part two of this newest season of Wednesday is releasing this week on Netflix. So if you made it through those first 4 episodes, you'll be able to dig back into the next, I guess, 4 episodes coming everyone's way. Last week on the
Yay.
podcast, we talked about Love Story celebrating its 55th birthday. This week, we're going to be taking a blast from our childhood past and talking about Sister Act, that Whoopi Goldberg lounge singer turned nun. Caper. I don't know how to describe it. It's something all right. We're going to talk all about that on the main show and over on our Patreon. It's patreon.com/drink the movies. You can get our bonus episode for Freaky Friday. We'll be doing our hangouts and, priming the gears to go check out Spinal Tap. What is it? The Spinal Tap 2, the end is nigh. I don't remember what it's called, but we're going to be talking about Spinal Tap on Patreon all month long. So go check that out. We appreciate it. Stay tuned for Sister Act later in the week, and we'll talk to everyone next week in the lobby bar.